All right, Vinny, senior year, making your first trip to the postseason at this preliminary meet this weekend. Got to be excited for this one, huh?
Yeah, pretty excited. Got into it for MAC prelim time, which is nice, and hopefully can run faster, which I should have probably.
You mentioned the good performance, setting a new PR in the MAC prelim. Seemed on your way to setting another one in the finals. I ideally, what kind of time are you looking at, and how good are you feeling physically, putting on these kind of times this late in the year?
I'm feeling really good. I mean, all the training's coming together, and we're kind of just putting it all together as a complete season right now. And hopefully aiming for like a low 51, high 50. That'd be nice.
All right, good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, Alexis, making this meet for the second week in a row. Kind of was in doubt entering the MAC weekend, but you had a couple of big times. What is kind of happening in your training to be able to really peak at this point of the year?
I think we're really just getting focused on some of the things that we've been not focusing on earlier in the season, but really honing in on specific things, and I think that really worked out for us. So.
Yeah, you set a meet record and a school record to win your first MAC title, and that really shot you up the rankings. I guess, kind of what's the goal personally for this weekend now that you're really kind of seed-wise in the mix of things?
I think the goal for this weekend is just to run my own race, and I think if I run my own race, that I'll PR, and then hopefully with that PR, I can also advance. So.
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, coaches. Team really seems to be peaking at the right time, putting in a lot of big PRs over at the MAC championships leading into this weekend. Seems a pretty good spot for a lot of your kids for doing some big things this weekend.
Yeah, it's been a fun year. Obviously, we've had some really great highlights across the board. You mentioned the MAC championships. When you look at what the throwers have been able to do, when you look at the hurdlers, and kind of the culmination of what the distance kids were able to put up on the board there, we came away with what I thought was probably one of the most exciting performances that we've had all year. And leading into the first round, we've got some really good momentum with some of our top athletes.
Coach Peterson, your group that's going into this meet, especially out of the hurdlers, really came through with some huge times. Alexis winning a MAC title, Vinny having a shot late at winning a MAC title in the 400-meter hurdles, both PRing one school and meet record. Seems kind of like the sky's the limit, and it's getting pushed each and every week with your group.
We can still build on what we've been doing too. Those two athletes in particular, they're not going to surprise me with their performances. I mean, they're definitely going to make me happy, but I don't see a lid anywhere close to where they're at right now, and we still have pretty high expectations going into the first round.
Coach Mans, your throwers have gotten a lot of accolades this year, won a couple of MAC titles. Seems what's the group kind of working on and focusing on going into this meet in Lexington?
Well, we need to regroup for this meet. We peaked for the conference meet with most of the athletes, so we spent last week getting the volume in, getting kind of beaten back down. But it's really nice seeing yesterday and today they're really starting to come back strong. So I'm very hopeful and pretty sure we're going to have a really good meet at the first round, and I hope we send out 3 or 4 athletes.
This is more of an overall question, but what kind of momentum do you feel this is kind of building to the program, these big performances these last few weeks?
Yeah, I think that was one of my main goals this year, was getting to a point at some point where you could see that the attitude on the team here had shifted from maybe just being a good Division I level team to being a program that understands that we can go do something really special. And I think all the coaches would agree, and the athletes would agree, that at the MAC championships we really showed that. I mean, we got some really good momentum going early, and you could see each athlete in every event really ride the wave of that momentum. And it was exciting because I know that is going to represent what we've got in the future. And we've got some places where we still need yet to improve, but we've got some pieces of the puzzle in place now that we can really take a really big step forward.
I guess finally, not to forget anybody, introducing a pretty big senior year, and he's going to have a pretty busy weekend. What are the expectations for him?
Yeah, so he's listed in the 1500 and the 5K. With the 1500, you've got prelim, and then if he advances, he'll race again 2 days later, which is also the same day as the 5K. And he's definitely capable of more than he's shown this year. He's had to do a lot of the work in the races he's run this whole year. But we're going to take it one race at a time. He's got to advance first, and he'll focus primarily on the 1500, and the 5K is somewhat of a backup, but he's strong enough to do well in both of those races.
All right, good luck this weekend.